Hey everybody, it's Tutor. Welcome. When KG and I had time together way back when, we liked to be closer than close. Don't get me wrong though, we each had our own thing. Our marriage was often divided by oceans and continents. He would travel by air for a variety of one-percenters. And me, in place of traditional teaching and learning, I was privileged to educate children whose parents afforded them their own blackish hybrid of Mary Poppins and Mrs. Frizzle. Beep, beep! I'm also known as Molly, aka Mrs. Molly, spelled like the country in West Africa. According to Greek mythology, Chiron, the eldest and wisest of the wild centaurs, was gifted in the natural sciences. He was tutor to Achilles, among others. Add the motorcycle, and this mane of mine, and I certainly can identify. Today, KG and I are still pretty adventurous. When we travel, we opt for a little more space than riding double on his Honda Goldwing. We will do a special episode on our stealth camper van for those with an interest. In the episodes to follow, Tutor provides adults a multitude of resources necessary for an expeditionary-based, multi-ability curriculum for kindergarten through middle grades school children who have access to extensive travel within the United States. This first expeditionary episode is appropriately dedicated to George Washington's plantation called Mount Vernon. Science begins with counting. Siddhartha Mukherjee, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. Mathematical inquiries for a culminating expedition should be required from all of your learners. Each should be thematically related to George Washington, maybe even Thomas Jefferson and Virginia. A good place to start is a two-dimensional map, plotting your route, calculating mileage and gas. Your studies should also include the pre-planning aspect of the temperature for the average time of year you plan to travel. Most prudent of all would be for your students to study the original Declaration of Independence. And in order to do that intelligently, it might be useful for all of your learners to learn how to read, write, and understand cursive writing. From a literary standpoint, it's important for you to engage your students in literature that is award-winning for children. My favorites are Coretta Scott King Awards from the American Library Association. Really, any American Library Association awards for children are going to be excellent picks. Caldecott Award winners for your younger students, which have more of a lean toward picture books. Consider read alouds more often than individual reads, especially for those that might struggle with consistency and fluency in pulling words off of the page. We are about to be the two who go tour George Washington's Mount Vernon. And this is a duplicate trip. Once that I took one more than 10 years ago with a bunch of kids, a bunch of my favorite kids. And we got a chance to learn about how African Americans were honored or commemorated here at the property, which is always our focus, to find our place in American history. So we too are headed inside of Mount Vernon to see what's changed since the
Nothing.
We are touring Mount Vernon today, and most of my followers will know that my emphasis anytime I come to our American heritage sites is Black history and how is it represented at all of the major landmarks, especially the ones that pertain to plantation and the slave economy, or plantation society and the slave economy. So we're here at Mount Vernon, and I was here maybe 15 years ago with a group of children, and we came to observe the influence of the African American presence here on the property and realized that it was underrepresented. There was one by the name of Washi, commented that before the War of Independence, Washington and guests went fox hunting up to 3 times a week. Blueskin and Nelson were 2 horses Washington rode during the war, with Nelson being famously calm in battle. Both horses earned a happy retirement to the field for their service after the Revolution. I have to pause there because it's really interesting that the horses earned a happy retirement and the slaves. So something new this time around at George Washington's Mount Vernon at the Slave Memorial are the acknowledgement that there should be some sort of speaking of the names or mentioning of the names. And there are stones out here that appear to have some names on them this time, where it looks like some people have tried to bring some humanity to the memorial. We know that there were no markers out here originally, and for decades that it went untended. Howard University students came out and designed and created the memorial in the 80s, but really not much has been done since the last time I visited here either, outside of the little rocks that are throughout the memorial with names and messages on it for